I finally did it. I finally played Raid Shadow Legends. Well, actually, I've been playing for about 2 years now, and I've logged in for over 300 days total. So, since I play the game already, and they asked me to sponsor a full video, how could I say no? Here's today's goal. I'm gonna unlock a brand new character and see just how strong I can make him in only 1 day. Then I'm gonna take him into every activity and see just how good it actually is. But before I reveal which character we're using, I need to tell you about the Asgard Divide, one of Raid's biggest events ever, giving us access to 4 legendary champions from Norse mythology. Let's check out this video together and see what we can expect. Wait, trailer. Ooh, Loki.
Loki.
Please, let's not resort to violence. Very well, so violence it is.
Oh, he's so cool. Can you just kick him in the face?
Aren't you fed up with cleaning up the gods' mess? Existing only to fight their battles. Send them my regards.
Loki, this is madness. Stop.
Ooh. What was that? What? Oh, and there's Odin. So it looks like we actually get to fight Odin. That's cool. Now, you're probably wondering how to get these new Norse mythology characters. It's actually really simple. To get Loki the Deceiver, you just need to log in for 7 days between August 21st and October 23rd. Then, if you continue to play during that time, you can also unlock a bunch of other stuff, like Loki's Perfect Soul, so you can awaken him for even more abilities, and a bunch of other stuff in Phase 2 of the login event. To get the other 3 characters, Thor, Odin, and Freya, there are going to be limited time activities in-game that allow you to work towards unlocking them. I'm currently working towards getting Thor because this guy seems insane. And as part of the Asgard Divide, you can also take on the new event dungeon, a limited time dungeon where you can face off against enemies and a boss connected to the current event. For this event, people have to go against Odin. So don't miss out. Download Raid Shadow Legends using my link in the description and start working towards getting your free Loki the Deceiver champion and take on the challenges of the Asgard Divide today. If you haven't started playing Raid yet, now is the best time to start. Click my link in the description or scan my QR code to get insane bonuses, available only through my link. If you're a brand new player, you will immediately get a huge starter pack with the epic champion Tagore, a support champion who leaves no fallen soldier behind. Then at level 15, you'll get another starter pack that includes an epic grizzled Jarl, a magic affinity champion with a hard-hitting first attack and an AoE debuff that lowers every enemy's attack. After that, you can join my clan called the Meerkat Crew so we can all come together and take out all the clan bosses for some top tier loot. Be sure to click the link in the description to try it for yourself, and now on to upgrading Loki. Yes, I have already unlocked Loki, and this is the character we're going to be playing with today. First off, Loki has these abilities: an AoE attack that extends the duration of debuffs on enemies, a single target attack that allows you to either block buffs on enemies or heal allies, Bandit Flash, which applies a 50% attack buff on all allies, which is really strong, and it has a chance to steal buffs from enemies and also deplete their turn meter, which will delay their turn. And if for some reason you don't deplete their turn meter, it speeds up all your other champions too. So no matter what, we should always be getting a ton of value out of this. And once we upgrade him a little bit, he will unlock a new passive which will make him busted, giving him perfect Veil buffs every round or whenever he drops below half health. And this will also allow him to evade attacks so he can stay alive for longer. Now you're probably wondering what makes Veil buffs so good. Well, this means Loki cannot be targeted by enemies, and he will take less damage from AoE attacks. And if you noticed before, all of his attacks have higher chances of landing if he's under a Veil buff, and some of them have more potent effects too. So it provides protection and makes him way more consistent. And since his veils are perfect veils, these will not be removed whenever he attacks. Long story short, he seems like a very powerful support character, so I'm going to build him and see if he actually is. First, we need to get him to level 60. Since he is a legendary champion, he comes as a 5-star, which means he will slowly earn XP until he reaches level 50. Then we can upgrade his rank to 6 stars, which raises his level cap to 60. Way more powerful than those pathetic 5 stars. So I got him to level 50, fed him a bunch of dogs, and now he's a 6-star. After that, I actually ran out of spirit brews, so I took Loki to the best XP farming spot. And with the help of good old Bellower, we got him to level 60. And it only took a long time. And while I was doing that, I decided to do a random tin pull, and I just so happened to get this. I don't know how to say his name, but it's a legendary champion that looks so cool. His A2 attacks all enemies, and if an enemy dies, he takes an extra turn, and it resets the cooldown of his A3, which will give him a bunch of other buffs. And he gets way stronger if he's under a Veil buff, so he works perfectly with Loki, since Loki can give him Veil buffs. If I didn't just spend all my resources upgrading Loki, I would probably be building this guy right now. This is definitely the next character I'm building. Or maybe Ninja, he's good too. Yeah, Ninja is in this game. Now let's ascend him. This will give him purple stars, which will unlock more artifact slots like the necklace and banner, which are really important when it comes to in-game content. But in order to do this, we need a bunch of potions that I don't have. So I turned on autoplay, went and got lunch, and came back to everything I needed to ascend him to max. Now let's give him some artifacts. We can farm for new artifacts later, but right now, let's just throw on the best ones that I already have, and we'll work towards getting the right set bonuses another day. Okay, so he's definitely going to want speed because everything takes speed. And then we're also going to want like accuracy so he can land his debuffs. And from there, I'll probably just go like HP and defense just to keep him alive. So let's go right here. Rank, I always want 5 and 6 stars. 4 stars are kind of acceptable, but not ideal. Accuracy for the chest piece, probably want... Ooh, if I could get that speed set in there. To anyone who hasn't played this game before, basically you can just put your stuff on temporarily, and then you can put it on permanently once you're happy with the build. Perception, HP, defense, speed. I'll try that on. Okay, out of the gauntlets, I'm thinking this merciless set down here, because that gives me accuracy and speed and defense. Okay, so I just found this shield. It has accuracy and speed. I'm gonna keep that for here in a minute. And this is a 4-star helmet that would give us perception, and it has accuracy, speed, and that leaves just the weapon, which that doesn't look too bad. Once again, I'll get set bonuses for this later if I really like the character. I don't hate this ring. I don't have a necklace, and the banner, I'll probably end up going with like, I'll give Loki the HP main stat. That'll bring him up to 31,000. That's before any of these glyphs. I'm gonna go ahead and glyph some of these pieces just because. 34k HP, 2700 defense, 182 speed, 193 accuracy. I think that's actually pretty low, but overall, not terrible, not fully upgraded, most importantly, missing a necklace, 22,000 power, like not too far behind, even though he's not even like near what he should be in the end. While I do have one book that I could spend on him to upgrade one of his attacks, I really don't want to spend this because these are so rare to get. So maybe one day, but today is not that day. But we're not done yet because he still has his masteries. I normally would recommend grinding these out in the Minotaur's Labyrinth dungeon, but I've been saving all my gems specifically for this video, so I'm just gonna buy them and save the time. And if you're wondering why I chose these specific masteries, I just copied a guide online. We get one free respec, so I usually just do this to start out with, and if later I feel like I need to change something up, I'll swap out the masteries once I get a good feel for the character. But right now, I know what the character does, I don't know how the character plays. There's only one thing left to do. Wait a few hours until the next daily reset happens. 5 hours later. This is my 14th day logging in, so I can unlock his perfect soul. This turns his purple stars into red stars, and this will allow him to use blessings too. Blessings are basically just passive buffs to a character, but there are a lot to choose from, and depending on how many red stars you have, these get even more powerful. After looking over them for a bit, I decided on cruelty. This will lower the defense of enemies hit by Loki, allowing our allies to deal more damage. Perfect for Loki since he's already a support character that's probably not going to die. So just a few minutes ago, Loki looked like this. Now he looks like this. I mean, he doesn't look any different, but his stats are way better. Now let's test his skills and take him into the clan boss. Speaking of, join my clan. I need more people to carry me through the higher difficulties. I only have Nightmare unlocked. Also, here are some of my other important champions. Rhonda is my main DPS, being able to get multiple hits with each attack, and she has Brimstone to make meteors rain down for big chunks of damage. She also has way too much crit rate and not amazing crit damage, but she's definitely consistent. Ultimate Death Knight is my main sustainer. He gives shields to all my allies and heals them too. But that doesn't matter too much because he will redirect damage to himself. And I have an artifact set that heals him at the beginning of each of his turns. So basically, he soaks up a bunch of the damage and he's just not gonna die. And as if that wasn't good enough, he also decreases the attack of all enemies and his damage scales with defense. So I just built him as an absolute tank and now he can actually put out some decent damage himself. Geomancer is the best epic champion. He completely drains the enemy turn meter and takes it for himself. He also applies HP burns and weaken debuffs. And whenever he gets attacked, he deflects a large portion of that damage back. So against massive bosses, this deals an insane amount of damage. And I'm now realizing he has cruelty, which kinda doesn't stack. And I have Hofferys to revive up to 2 of my champions if they happen to die. I know this team isn't optimal for clan bosses, but it's what I have and I usually put out the most damage.
So it's 1 a.m. and I forgot to record this in the video, so let's do a Nightmare Clan boss. And he one-shot my entire team. Okay, 13 million did 2%. 13 million means we just barely hit the top chest, which is honestly, I think, better than what I was doing before. Let's drop down to Brutal and see if we can get some of these upper tiers. Hopefully 14 million or 22 million. There it is. Loki's the only one left standing. And now he's dead. 19 million, that's not terrible. I could use another key to get that extra chest, but I don't think it's worth it. I did get this master chest though, so we'll get most of the rewards.
And now onto the Hydra. That was pitiful. But to be fair, none of my champions are really built for the Hydra, so that was kinda to be expected. Now let's take him into the event dungeon and see just how far we can get. Loki versus Odin. I think we'll make it to stage 12 easily, but anything past that will be a struggle. With that being said, my goal is to beat stage 15.
As you can see, the first few levels only took me 1 second because Odin went down in 1 attack, but it's slowly starting to build up. The last one took 3 minutes. So 15's probably going to be where I cap out, I would assume. Maybe 16, maybe 17, but probably 15. So if you're wondering what happens while this plays out, this is Odin's normal attack. He can also remove all of my champion's buffs, which is very annoying. He can steal buffs from people. Every 9 turns, he makes himself and his friends completely immune to damage, which is even more annoying. As you can see right here, I just can't do any damage to him while he has this buff right here. And then he has 2 other passives, one that makes him immune to stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, a bunch of different debuffs. And then his last passive is basically just nerfing my Rhonda because I believe her brimstone attack scales off of HP. And this means that it will not do nearly as much damage as it should. We are 6 minutes in and barely anything has happened. Alright, the small guy's dead. Just Odin left. He still can revive his allies, so I just gotta kind of hope he doesn't do that. But if we can get some big damage on him, we can maybe take him out. Okay, this might be it. Come on, like 1 more attack. Let's go. 9 minutes and it was kind of close a few times. And that actually gave me a Barbarian Amulet with accuracy, which is exactly what he wanted. That is perfect. And it gives me plus 20 accuracy because it's a pinpoint set.
And just like that, we did it. We took a newborn Loki, gave him a new home, and forced him to fight his father to the death. And won. Thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check it out in the description down below to get all these awesome bonuses in game. Thanks for watching, I'm Marshix, and I'll see you next time.